In this example on quadratic equations, we're looking at solving disguised quadratics. Now we're asked to solve x to the 4 minus 13x squared plus 36 equals 0. And at first glance this looks rather tricky. However, we can use a clever trick here to find a more appropriate form here to solve this in, which is much easier to work with. And what we're going to do here is replace y with x squared. Notice if we replace y with x squared here and substitute in y with an x squared, well, x to the 4, that would be x squared squared. Okay, so in that case we could write that as y squared. This minus 13x squared here, well, x squared is y, so that would be minus 13y plus 36 equals 0. So let's substitute that in and see what we obtain. So substituting y equals x squared in here, we obtain x squared squared here for x to the 4 minus 13x squared, that would be minus 13y plus 36 equals 0. And this x squared here, we know it's y, so what we obtain is y squared minus 13y plus 36 equals 0. And this is much easier to work with. Now, this is in a form where we can easily go on to factorise this result. Remember, if we couldn't factorise this, we would have to go on to use quadratic formula or completing the square. However, this expression does factorise nicely, so what we obtain here is y at the front of each bracket, and within each of these brackets here, we're going to have a minus 9 and a minus 4 here. This is still equal to 0, so all we need to do now is solve here for y. So what we've obtained is y minus 9 equals 0 and y minus 4 equals 0. So therefore, we obtain two solutions in terms of y. That means y equals 9 and y equals 4. However, we don't want our solutions in terms of y. Remember, we've used a substitution originally here that y is equal to x squared. So therefore, resubstituting this back in here, what we obtain is x squared is equal to 9 and x squared is equal to 4. Now here, we've got x squared equals 9 and x squared equals 4. So all we've simply got to do here is take the square root of both sides. Remember, we just want to solve here for x. So therefore, we just want x, we just take the square root. So the square root of x squared gives us x. And just be very, very careful here. If you take the square root of 9, we need the minus solution as well. So that's the square root of 9, which gives us plus or minus 3 there. Okay, and we repeat this here with this x squared equals 4. So therefore, x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 4, and that we can write as plus or minus 2 there. And that gives us the solution to our example.